If the beer bug were never an issue, I would have gotten over $3,100 this month. $700 from my crappy cruddy job, $1,200 from my federal tax refund, and another $1,200 from my stimulus check. That would be more than enough money to pay for my mortgage, other bills, and the plumber. In fact, I almost caught up with my water bill payments when the beer bug started. Now I, and many other Americans, are likely to get deeper into debt all because we were forced out of work by the government. A government that's slow, anachronistic, and stupid. Even though there's a moratorium on utility, rent, and mortgage payments, people are still going to be required to make back payments on those expenses. $1,200 is not enough money to catch up on bills you haven't paid in over a month. The stimulus check should have been $2,000, but because Congress is slow, anachronistic, and stupid, we get less than the amount of money needed for survival. And before you say the federal government can't afford to pay $2,000 stimulus checks to citizens, just remember that there's this thing called modern monetary theory. Look into it. Also look into the possibility that the lockdown could last for months. People won't be able to survive unless they can get back to work immediately or if they get more stimulus money. And even if you don't care about the survival of Americans forced out of work, you should at least care about stabilizing the U.S. economy. When you think about it, the real solution to the current economic situation is basic income. The government should send Americans $2,000 checks every month until the beer bug crisis has ended. And before you say that sort of thing will cause hyperinflation, just remember that the government gave banks and certain other big businesses nearly $1 trillion during the Great Recession. And as I recall, no hyperinflation happened. As I understand it, the government would need to print hundreds of trillions of dollars in order for hyperinflation to happen. Prove me wrong, and you probably will. I'm not going to go into the conspiracy theories about this issue, but I still think the severity of the beer bug is exaggerated. More to the point, I suspect that Big Pharma is loving this health crisis. Their powerful desire to keep diseases incurable is making them tons of money. This might explain why it's taking so long for regenerative medicine to be perfected. Regenerative medicine has the potential to cure a lot of medical conditions, and medical cures would eat into Big Pharma's profits. Now I want to go back to my situation. And my situation is that I need more money. And I'm not the only one. Duh. Since I've been forced out of work, I need alternative sources of income. One possibility here could be for me to apply for unemployment benefits, but I have a feeling I might not get approved. And even if I am approved, it might not be enough to pay my expenses. I'm also looking online for jobs daily. Of course, that's not working out. Job searches always take too long for me. Then there's phone farming. Phone farming is when you use money-making apps on multiple phones as a money source. Phone farming is not what it used to be because there seems to be only one reliable money-making app. All the other money-making apps are either borderline scams or full-scale scams. But I believe I should be making money as a freelance graphic artist. Of course, there's a problem of stupid people expecting artists to work for free and other stupid people who don't know good art when they see it. And since many Americans have been forced out of work, they don't have the money to hire a freelance artist. Great how that works out. I've recently heard that some people get rich during recessions, and I don't know how to get rich during a recession. Of course, I could buy some book or pay for a course on how to do that, but I can't because I don't have any money because I've been forced out of work by a slow, anachronistic, and stupid government. Then, of course, some trolls are probably going to tell me to live within your means. But I've been living within my means for years. Since my income always seems to be low, I don't have the money to spend on extravagant stuff. And since I hate being in debt, I only use my credit card once or twice a year. I ride my bike to work instead of driving there or taking the bus. I go to the dollar store all the time, and I'm always on the lookout for free stuff. But with the lockdown in effect, my low standard of living cannot sustain me. The fact of the matter is that the government has forced Americans out of work. Therefore, The government should be responsible for financially compensating the people they forced out of work. It's that obvious. The trolls will also say it's your fault that the government forced you out of your job. And when you tell them that your unemployment is beyond your control, they'll say you're being stupid and lazy. That, of course, doesn't make any sense, but trolls just want to say that so they can freak you the frack out with their offensive speech. Other extremists have similar sentiments and feel that anyone who doesn't work deserves to suffer. And for them, it doesn't matter that the government is the cause of your unemployment. The stupid never ends. And then there are the crazy people who expect the current crisis to result in economic collapse. As bad as things are, I get the impression that economic collapse won't happen. People are constantly predicting economic collapse, and it never happens. Of course, they say that because they want it to happen. Apparently, they feel that they'll benefit from it or some such thing. Whatever the case, it seems to me that modern monetary theory is why economic collapse fails to happen. I'm still confident that most, if not all, the problems associated with the beer bug wouldn't exist if we lived in a resource-based economy. Unlike the slow, anachronistic, and stupid governments of today's world, an RBE would be designed to constantly update itself with new science and technology. An RBE would have no need to provide people with stimulus checks since an RBE is a moneyless economy. Also, Big Pharma wouldn't exist in an RBE since monetary profit is non-existent as well. And recessions wouldn't exist in an RBE since it's moneyless and resource production would be efficiently maintained. But since I'm still trapped in the monetary system, I might as well try to figure out some ways to make money. Peace, the science out.